Hey everyone, this is Amit from Devlogs. Today we will be learning how to make a React library. So I have made a library which is named React Simplified Lib Modal. So this is the base code and you can see that how to import that library into your project and how to use that library and the props that it takes. So now let's see the demo app. So this is the demo app. So when I click open modal, so the modal opens. There are three things. One is the main body, one is the backdrop, and one is this closing button. So when I click this closing button, so the modal closes. So it means that it fires this function on close click. So whichever function I will be passing, so it will be called. So next is when I click this backdrop behind the modal, the area. So when I click it, the modal closes. So on this, a callback function is called on backdrop clicked. So we will pass a function which will decide what to be done next. So next thing is on open modal. So open modal, we are passing a state boolean true or false. So if it is true, the modal is in open state. If it is false, the modal closes. So the toggle state is a function that toggles the open state, this state dot open. So that's happening, and this is my body, modal body, that is rendering inside the modal. Hello X. So that's all. Now let's see the code. So how to set up a code base for React library. You can just see this boilerplate code, like you have to copy some things like this package.json, eslint rc, babel rc, and gitignore. Source, public, that's all. Nothing dist and node modules. Like you can just fork my repo, this repo, fork this repo, and just go to the source and inside the lib change this code. But in the index.js, inside the lib changes the code, and in the index.js just export default anything you have created, a component or anything. So let's see how my modal function is working. So this basically, this index is a class component, like the example demo example I am showing you. So I have here used that modal, imported that modal from my library and just rendered it in the index.js. So all my library code is inside the library folder. So inside the library folder there are my components. One is the modal.js. So this is the code for the modal.js. So in this modal.js I have created many one component and a backdrop, modal, and inside the modal I have created a cross button, and after that I have rendered all the children's inside the modal. So after that I have added React transitions for coming in and coming out. I have imported the modal CSS from, I have written the CSS here, so that transition is coming from this. When I click on open, first the class changes to, you can see enter active. Okay, So when it is entering, let's see, modal enter. So in the starting it is translate y. So when it is modal enter and modal enter active, that it is on translate y, like it has translated from -500 pixel to 0 pixel to the original location on the screen. So I have added a transition, add some animation to it. So this gives an animation like from like a something coming up from to the screen, something coming from the upside to the screen. So after that I have created a modal leave active. When it is active, so I will translate it back. I will translate back to the to upper side. So that's all for the animations. It's very simple to use, and if you have any issues you can just create an issue on my GitHub repository, and anyone interested can also just fork this repo and contribute to it. How to just publish this library to NPM. So there are some scripts I have written. For the development purpose, you will start npm run or npm start. So it will just start a development server, and for testing the app you can create .test files in it. I have not created it, but you can create them. And react eject for some other configurations. We don't need that in this. And this is the main command, npm build. Npm build command just deletes the dist folder that is already being created, uses a production environment and uses Babel, and we point out to the directory that has to be compiled, and where is the output directory named dist, and we will copy all the files to the dist compiled files. So Babel will compile the RJSX code and write that code in pure JavaScript. You can see this is the compile code. So after creating this dist file, you can see that if I go in the package.json, you can see my main and module. It just point to the main file index.js and the file that has to be downloaded when I run the command npm install. Okay, so after building my app, there will be a dist folder, and after that I will run a command npm login. So I have already created an account in the npm on the npm website. After that you will run npm login and enter your authentication username and password. After that you have to run a command npm publish. So after clicking on this publish, running this command, you will see that something like all the it will checks how many files and what to have to be uploaded to the npm server. So it will do that and it will create, you can see that something like this, and it will also give a command how to install that in your project, a version, weekly downloads. Okay, so updating after, if we want to update this library, after making changes I will update that version in the package.json. I will update the version to 0.1.7 to 0.1.8. okay, so after updating the version I will run the command npm publish again, so that will publish my updated code to the npm site. So that's it for publishing your code to the npm. Any questions or queries, you can write it down in the comments.